Good morning. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. Today we have recipes again. These recipes are recipes that you can, copycat recipes, I guess you call them. I don't know how many of you live in the city, but how many of you go out for coffee or stop for coffee on your way to work? And you're spending $5 to $6 a cup. Figure that out. Figure out how much that $5 to $6 a cup a day will cost you in a year. 365 days times 5. I don't know the math. I'm not smart enough to figure that out in my head. So anyway, it counts up. It really counts up. So we'll learn to make your own mixes. These are some of the mixes that I've come up with, and I hope they help you. First one is vanilla chai tea mix. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway. 2½ cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of unsweetened instant tea, 1 cup of French vanilla powdered creamer, 1 cup of powdered non-fat dairy creamer, 1 cup of dried milk, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger, 1 teaspoon of cardamon, 1 teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of white pepper. Combine all your ingredients in a food processor and pulse until a fine powder. Store in an airtight container. To use, add 3 tablespoons of mix to a cup of hot water, boiling water I would say, and adjust to your taste. That's 1 tea mix. For those of you who are in coffee, 1 cup of ground coffee, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 teaspoon of ginger. Combine all ingredients. Mix well and you brew as usual. You put the coffee grounds and all of your spices into your coffee, whatever you call it, that the water runs through, and you will have that. It's simple to make, and you're spending $5 to $6 for one of them. Okay. Christmas morning cappuccino. 2/3 cup of instant coffee granules, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 cup of powdered non-dairy creamer, 1 cup of chocolate drink mix, 1/2 cup of sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then your coffee granules, excuse me, until a fine powder. Combine all your ingredients, mix thoroughly, store in an airtight container. To use, mix 3 tablespoons of mix with 1 cup of hot water or hot milk. Simple enough to do, isn't it? Christmas morning cappuccino. Next one, Copycat Starbucks maple syrup. 1/3 cup of strong espresso, 1 teaspoon of pure maple syrup, 1 1/2 cups of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla or maple extract. Pour the espresso into a cup, stir in the syrup, mix stir in the maple syrup, mix together the milk and the vanilla, place in a jar, close tightly, shake vigorously, or microwave it for 30 seconds, and slowly pour your milk over the espresso. Simple enough to make, takes a few minutes. and you're paying $5. Hot apple cider, cinnamon spice mix. I know some of you like that. 4 cups of sugar, 4 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 1/2 tablespoon of ground nutmeg. Mix all ingredients in a bowl. Store in an airtight container, and to use, 1 tablespoon per quart. I would add per quart of apple juice. I would add this to the apple cider or the apple juice or cranberry juice. Hot apple cider cinnamon spice mix. Don't buy those little packages for it. Make your own. Heavy maple soup. Combine 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of light corn soup, 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 teaspoon of maple flavoring. Heat and stir until dissolved. Varied. Use 1 cup of variation. Use 1 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of white sugar. Heavy maple syrup. Your next one. Pumpkin pie spice creamer. 1 cup of powdered non-dairy creamer, 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of allspice. Mix all ingredients. Store in an airtight container. To use to taste in coffee. Start with 1 teaspoon and build up to 1 tablespoon. Pumpkin pie spice creamer. I got 2 pages that time instead of 1. And I can't get those separated. There we go. Malted hot chocolate, hot cocoa. 1 package, 25 ounces of non-fat dry milk, 6 cups of miniature marshmallows, 1 container, 1 pound of Nestle Quick, 1 jar, 13 ounces of malted milk mix, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 jar, 16 ounces of powdered coffee granules, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Put all ingredients in a large bowl, whisk together until mixed thoroughly. Store in an airtight container in a cool, dry place. And to use, 1/3 cup to 6 ounces of hot water. Stir well. Sugar-free cappuccino. 1 1/4 cups of sugar-free French vanilla powdered coffee creamer. 2/3 cups of instant coffee granules, 1/4 cup of instant chocolate drink, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is optional, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, which is optional. Combine all ingredients, mix thoroughly, store in an airtight container. 3 tablespoons in a cup of hot water. Adjust to taste. I got a note here say, I added the cinnamon and the nutmeg to recipes, but I decided not to use them in this mix. So I did everything except the cinnamon and the nutmeg. Mocha sugar-free cappuccino. 1 1/4 cups of powdered milk, 1/2 cup of instant coffee, 1 cup of instant sugar-free creamer, 1/2 cup of powdered, whatever it's called, Stevia, which is a artificial shortening. Combine all ingredients. To use, 2 tablespoons to 1 cup of boiling water. Adjust the taste. This is one for your diabetics. Homemade mocha mix. 1/2 cup of instant coffee, 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 cup of dry milk powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Place all ingredients in the processor. Mix until all ingredients are well combined. Place in an airtight container. To use, place 2 tablespoons of mix fill in a mug. Fill with hot water. Adjust the taste, and if you prefer it to be creamier, it says add a little milk if you prefer it to be creamier, and adjust the taste. These all would be great recipes to make and to send as Christmas presents. Put in another jar and give your directions, and you make a basket, and you have a wonderful Christmas present that anybody can enjoy. And the good thing about these recipes is they don't take that much. They aren't huge recipes that if you don't like it, you'll waste a lot of ingredients. So there you are for today. Remember, these recipes are listed in the description box. And have a great day. God bless.